No. Whatever.
Right. This is my first stream in, I think, over 3 weeks. Update dropped. We'll be doing this quest in a moment. This is a Dainsleif quest, which is jolly. I have Alhaven. I sniped him off a banner. I had like 30 pity. And then I was like, oh, I do like Alhaven as a character, and I'm interested in his playstyle, and I don't have a Dendro DPS. Unless you count Nahida. So I was like, I'll try to snipe him, I'll drop 20 wishes, and if I don't get him, then I don't get him, and if I do get him, then I do get him. And I got him after 20 wishes. So I was like, oh, hell yes. And then I dropped another 20 wishes on Clorend, and didn't get her, but that's fine. Because I have Raiden. I've already grinded up that stuff. It's going to take a while to ascend him up and stuff, and I don't have a lot of I'm doing my best on XP books more than mine. Oof, okay. Also, I don't have a lot of talent books for him, because I thought he was admonition, but he's not, he's ingenuity. Which is actually kind of annoying, because that means basically all the good Sumeru characters use ingenuity. So the other two talent books are just useless. I've already done some investigating. He is not going to be good to Nilu. Alright, yeah, leftover. So I have 26 pity now. That puts me at 109. 114. So 114 wishes is at least another 40 days until a Nilu banner drops. So I should be fine. Still to get Nilu. I would like to get a weapon as well, but it's probably not going to happen, which is fine. Yeah, I got Alhaven. From what I've heard, he is not good with Nilu. You mainly want to use him in Quick Bloom or Hyper Bloom. I mean, this is the team I have him right now. This is the team which I was previously... I've been running this team for like a week or two now. I really like it. But instead of Alhaven, I'd just been running Nahida. But Alhaven, I believe, has better Dendro application than Nahida does, and he has more personal damage, so that's why I wanted to get him for it. However, I just checked out a post on the Nilu Mains subreddit, and someone said, this would be good.
Horizons again.
Which surprises me, because I thought, from what I've been seeing, I'm going to run some quick tests. From what I've been seeing, he's really good with he does a lot of Dendro, from what I can tell. So I would have thought he'd want 2 Hydro characters to boost that. Also, this is my build on him. He's only level 60, so he's not got the best base stat. Wolfang, which is his best 4-star weapon. And some Gilded Dreams relics I had lying around. These are reasonably good. So... I mean, that's 2 good substats. 2... that one can maybe be better. Actually, I do have a... Right. Okay, yeah. Maybe I should just take this. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Let's just... Yep, thanks, Tiny. Oh, there's another one as well. I have some really good Dendro goblets. We've stolen this off Tiny. That's good. There we go. That puts us up to decent-ish crit damage. Crit rate. Crit damage. So, of course, my crit damage here is going to depend on my roll luck, unfortunately. 265 EM. From what I've heard, you want to get him to like 500 or 400, even though his passive stacks up to 1,000. And its damage also scales in the same way Nahida's does, but unlike Nahida, of course, he actually wants some ER because his burst is pretty good. And he also wants attack as well, I think. He wants a bit of everything, whereas Nahida can way more just focus on EM. And Nahida does have 260 or 658 EM, but it's not the best. Looking into that. Yeah. But yeah, so for next while I'm going to be trying to build our Haven. So far playing him, I like him. He's definitely like a higher skill character, well that's fine, I'm used to it. He has more rigid rotations, but that's only if you want to get optimal damage. I'm finding so far, granted I haven't played him a lot, but I'm finding that he is pretty chill. It's just that if you want to deal like absolutely optimal damage, then yeah, you do need to. Also, like you can be punished for like basic mistakes. Like if you use your ultimate or your skill at the wrong time, and you just lose like all your fucking damage. Otherwise, he's pretty chill. But from what I've heard, you want to get him to 400 EM. I don't know if it assumes you're running Gilded Dreams anyway. But yeah, with Gilded Dreams, he should hit
Wait.
enough EM.
Huh?
But yeah, apparently it's better to run him with Nahida and only have one, only have Xingqiu. So see how this goes. The rotation here is going to be start with Xingqiu. Actually, no.
Grow! The Temple of Wisdom!
Okay.
Let me leave you a
verse.
No, my sword! Huh? Dissipate!
Okay, that was pretty good. Alright, I think it's hard to tell, of course, how much damage is actually coming from him. Whereas, better than I was expecting out, I think. Of course, also that enemy was like weak to Dendro. And also, of course, I'll have to see if I can find a substitute for Xingqiu in this team. Because, of course, Xingqiu is a high-in-demand character for me. I have quite a few other teams that use him. Here he's a placeholder for Nilo. I use him with Hutao. Hutao. I suppose not super high demand, but he's Xingqiu. He's important. Oh yeah, because we have Dendo Resonance, we get an extra 100 EM as well. So I'm just gonna like basically test him a little bit real quick, and then he's not like one of those flexible DPSs. He can't be using Nilou Bloom because Nilou Bloom generally really wants you to be quick swapping between characters. Which is really unfortunate since he has a lot of Dendro application, I believe. I believe he's the best Dendro application in the game. Which I wasn't expecting out of him. But I heard it's true if he has a unique ICD or something.
Witness the power of Guwa! Know my soul! Our bond is strong!
I mean, I think that's good. Because I don't care for what is meta, I just go with what is fun. And typically what is fun always ends up being good enough for me. I mean, I'm a Garni mate. Or at least I want to be. I can't like that was.
Here you are.
At least I try to be a Garni main. It doesn't happen a lot. If Palutena really should have been a dedicated Garni support, if she was, I would have gone her. I absolutely would have gone her, but she's not, so I didn't. I still think that's fucking horrendous. It would make so much damn sense for Palutena to have been a charge attack supporter. They could just, all they had to do is just make it so that her plunge attack damage buff also applies to charge attacks. That's it. Because that way, not only is it buffed to Garnu, but it's also buffed to Neuvillette. So it's still like a natural synergy of recently released characters, which is what you want to be doing. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to get Shenhe, but Lilu is definitely higher priority than Shenhe, so if I don't get Shenhe, then I'm probably never going to be able to truly be a Ganyu main. So unfortunately, Ganyu Burn is just not. Hopefully the Pyro Archon maybe will help with that. But Ganyu Burn is not fun, it's just really tense. I love Linny. Linny is what Ganyu should have been. I don't know if I streamed when playing as Linny, but I love playing as Linny. This team is so much fun. That's what Ganyu really should be. But I still love running this team. And Ganyu is still respectably strong, but Linny is just up there. It's unfortunate. But yeah, Linny is what Ganyu should be.
Time to go to work.
Ring
You looking for trouble?
No, my sword!
Let's end this now.
That's not the banner press me on.
Meet
Oh.
again.
Well, I really do like Al Haytham. I don't remember why I put him on my character tier list, which is based on personalities more so than anything else. He's one of my favourite characters. I'll probably put him in like 80 or something. I really do like him. So I really did want him, so I'm really glad I got him. So far I am liking Spaced, I was worried of him.
I'll be back.
Thankfully, I mean, I have all the enemy materials I'm going to need for him, and good enough artifacts. Like, by my standards, this is a really good setup. I have awful luck with crit stats, other than on Nahida. Nahida I got pretty damn lucky with. Unfortunately, though, she's lacking in EM. This is Xingqiu. Not great. That's kooky. Here's John Lee, here's Ganyu. Ganyu's doing decent. That's Miko. That's Raiden. Good God, poor Raiden. Neuvillette. Neuvillette is the most well-built character on my account. He is. For one improvement, I need to get him a HP Sands. Because he doesn't need this much ER. So I could get him a HP Sands here, tone down with ER, and tone up for HP and crit damage. Even further.
Witness the power of Gugwa!
The process of elimination.
That's the right point of rotation, right? Oh no, did I fuck it? Oh no, we have no things. So I believe a rotation for him is that you
Our bond is strong!
use his skill. There's different ways to play him. You can either focus on making his burst deal damage, or you can focus on active DPSing. Active DPSing will get you more total damage, but of course it'll take like 20 seconds. Or you can Alright, so there are two ways to play him. Right? use skill. You normal attack until you run out of mirrors, and then once you run out of mirrors, you then burst. Yeah. So what you do is you use your skill, and that will immediately generate two mirrors. Yes, you get 2 mirrors if you didn't already have any. So you get 2 mirrors, then thanks to this passive you get a third. You attack until you run out of those mirrors, then you use your burst once you see them all disappear, and so then that puts you back up to 3 mirrors, or 2 or 1, but ideally 3, because his 1 and 2 are not great, apparently. The damage on them is the same. No, it isn't. Wait, so use this skill, use normal attacks until mirrors disappear, then use this burst, continue normal attacking until those mirrors disappear, and then you swap out to your other characters and repeat rotation. Which is definitely a fun way to do things. That is similar to how Hu Tao is played. Hu Tao is you set up your other characters in rotation, you switch into her skill, and then attack, and then use your burst at the end of your last charge attack. And I'm very good at Hu Tao's rotation, but I don't include the burst often. There's not much point to. More often than not, like the burst often misses, which is unfortunate. The thing is, there's kind of like lag in it. It should work way more often than it does, but the PlayStation, of course, kind of sucks. So often it doesn't detect when you've said, "Hey, I want to do a burst," and it won't interrupt your charge stack animation, and so it'll activate the burst too late, and you'll just miss your target. That's when you just have no energy, and you don't get any more damage or any more HP. And all we've done is waste an extra 2 seconds with the dart animation. So often nowadays, don't bother with the house first.
Here you are.
The anime just looked really cool as well.
Stand with me. No, my sword!
Let's end this quickly! Flicker, I will end you.
Bro!
Surprise, surprise, his damage is awful when you
I see everything!
don't set up.
This is it. You need to hurry up.
Seems you're done now.
Rain out.
Yeah, his personal damage right now is not super satisfying, but I don't know if I don't know how he's supposed to be dealing with said damage. And also, of course, I don't he's only level 60, and his talents are mostly unleveled. And his artifacts aren't leveled either. But still, I'd be hoping to see bigger numbers right now. Because he's supposed to be, I think he's pretty sure the general agreement is that he's the strongest DPS in the game. Or maybe Novelet is. Novelet probably does get higher numbers. He's probably second best behind Novelet, numbers-wise. Probably then followed by Ayaka, but then Ayaka's a problem for being way more inconsistent and more niche. So really it's who to have it. Right, is that... This update we increased to a resin cap, which is Cool. I fucking hate the whole Wuthering Waves debate. From footage I've seen of Wuthering Waves, it's very clearly like a Genshin clone. Like they didn't even try to hide it at all. It's quite blatant, and that irks me. Because I feel like the immediate response is, oh, well, Genshin is a Zelda clone. No, not really. There's some major differences. The Wuthering Waves is clearly a Genshin clone. The character designs in Wuthering Waves look awful. I haven't played the game, so I'm only going by what I've seen of other people. But the character design looks awful. The gameplay looks like a blatant rip-off. Everything in it just looks like a blatant rip-off of Genshin, quite frankly. Even like the character designs, they just look like worse versions of Genshin characters. Because like one of the things I love about Genshin is Genshin has incredible character design. Like, quite frankly, some of the best character design out of any game we've ever seen, which is part of the reason why I actually respect Genshin. The way respecting Genshin is rapidly declining because of Nilo and Shenhe not going to run in over a year situation. Nilo was running when I first got a PlayStation over a year ago, and now by the time she gets a rerun, I'll be starting my second year of uni. Which really puts into perspective how absurdly long it's been. There are people that have died waiting for a Nilo rerun. That is real. The same way there's been people that died between Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth.
There have been many poorly written applications lately. I guess I'll just have to reject them all.
There's people that never lived to see a Nilo rerun. No, I might join them. It's ludicrous, of course. I think the character should be getting a rerun once every 3 months. So more than a year to me is beyond ludicrous. The only exceptions I would make would be like Fatui Harbingers and the Archons. I'm alright with them being once a year things, because that kind of makes sense. They're like premium characters. But Nilo is actually like a really good character. She's extremely valuable. She has a lot more team variety than you'd think, considering she has one of the harshest restrictions in the game, being Hydro and Dendro only characters. Despite my restrictions, she has some of like the biggest team variety in the game. Maybe not quite in the game, but she has a lot more team variety than you'd think. She's really good for new players, she's really accessible, she's easy to build, she's just a really healthy character for the game, and for everyone, and she's a Hydro sub-DPS, which is quite frankly the single most valuable team role in the game. So she really should be getting a rerun very often. There's certain characters who are like marked like very often characters. That's like Yelan. Yelan gets a rerun every 6 months basically on the dot. I think Hu Tao pretty much does as well. Nilo should be up there with them. She's just one of the characters that really should be getting a rerun really often. It just makes sense for her kit and for her character, I suppose, as well. She's not a premium character. In the time that Nilo has gotten no reruns, Baiju's had 3 banners. Nilo had 1 banner at like the start of Sumeru. Then like 2 or 3 patches later she had a rerun. And that was it. Nothing since then.
Whatever.
Like a patch or 2 after Nilo had her first. Was it a patch or 2? Actually, Baiju might have released the banner immediately after Nilo. So my first banner was Nahida Nilo, and immediately after that was Ganyu, and I think Ganyu was paired up with Baiju. Okay. So I think Baiju's first banner was after Nilu's first rerun. And in that time, Baiju's had 2 more reruns. Baiju's had 3 banners in the time that Nilu's had 0, even though Baiju's a way more niche character than Nilo. Baiju's recognized as one of the most niche characters in the entire game. He's not a great combo with Farina because he's Dendro, and so therefore he doesn't really benefit much from her buffs.
Book learning alone is not
So he's
enough to
a
cultivate
niche healer in
intelligence.
that regard.
Although scholars in
And
the
he's a Dendro
academia
healer,
find
but you can just get
examples.
Yao Yao. You can just get Yao Yao. And so Baiju's like one of the most niche characters in the entire game. The only real reason to get Baiju is Nilu Boom. And that's it. Yet he's had a rerun 3 times in the time that Nilu herself has had 0. In that time, Wanderers had 2. The 2 Harbinger has had 2. Our Hathams had 2 runs. Farina's had 2 runs. Novelette has had 2 runs. They've confirmed that Emily, the new Dendro character, is getting a run next match, which that really annoys me. So that means that they're gonna break their pattern. I think it's quite telling. Genshin has had a kind of rule since they started the game where every character gets 1 rerun per region, basically. So, like, Navia released a couple patches ago, and she would get another rerun, so she'd have 2 banners in Fontaine. And other than that, so if you're introduced in Fontaine, you get a second rerun in Fontaine, and you'd then get at least 1 banner in the next year. Of course, I still think that's ridiculous, but at least that's the rule they set for themselves. Now they're going to break that. They're actually breaking that rule now. There's going to be at least 1 Fontaine character, or God forbid, there should be 1 Fontaine character that doesn't get a rerun. It's probably going to be Navia. I think it's going to be... Next patch should be Emily, Ryosley, Nilu, Shenhe. It should be. Really should be.
Wait. Huh?
Who knows at this point?
Whatever.
Yeah, but Genshin's whole banner situation is just really pissing me off. So I don't want to spend any more money on this game or on myself. They're both pissing me off really at the moment. I haven't seen his charged animation yet. That's cool. I love it when the character actually has a weapon that they summons throughout their animations. Yeah, that's the thing. I respect Genshin so much as a game. The downsides is the monetization. But that's not up to the developers. The reason why I have way less respect for Star Rail is because Star Rail is actually predatory. Star Rail gives you progression roadblocks, and that is actually made by the game designer. I don't know if gaming higher-ups are like smart enough or know enough about the games to say, hey, make this boss only have a weakness to imaginary, so that if they don't pull for the new... Electro, so that if you don't pull for Acheron in the patch before this boss releases, then you're fucked and the boss fight is nigh impossible. I don't know if gaming higher-ups are smart enough to do that. But I feel like they wouldn't be in many cases.
There have been many poorly written
so in that case, I
applications.
do actually blame the game designers or from my Star Rail for doing that and being really predatory. Because, like, the thing is, with Genshin, you can get away. I do not need Alhaitham by any means. I do not need most of the characters which I have. In Genshin, you can get by with just a fucking Hu Tao team or just a Ganyu team. My Ganyu team, I ran my Ganyu team for 1,000 hours. In Genshin, you can get by very easily without having to change things up. Just make one good team and you're fine. And it doesn't even have to be a meta team. Hyperfridge is not fucking... It is not meta by any means. It's considered like the worst teams in the game. Yet it still worked for me for 1,000 hours. Star Rail, on the other hand, no. Star Rail, you can run meta fucking teams, competently built meta teams that you've invested months into, and still be roadblocked by the game. It's disgusting. How's the stream already devolved into ranting about Star Rail? Oh god. Okay, That's why I really hate it when everyone tries to shit on Genshin and say Star Rail so much better. Like, no, it isn't. It really isn't. It is significantly worse. Because in Genshin, you might want to pull out Hatham because you like his voice, you think he's sexy or whatever, but you will not be pulling out Hatham because you will not be able to play the game otherwise. Whereas that is the case in Star Rail. Because in Star Rail, it's a turn-based game, and therefore they have a lot more control over what they can do to you. And like, not to mention, like, elemental matchups are way more important in Star Rail as well. In Genshin, the only thing you have to worry about with elements is slimes and abyss mages. In the abyss, basically. They're way easier to deal with, whereas in Star Rail, of course, you need characters to match up and break shields. It's just a way more predatory system. I don't know what Wuthering Waves has in regards to that. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just as predatory. I also know Wuthering Waves on every ad is saying, like, get 110 pools for free now if you play the game. But when I looked into that, and apparently you don't get 110 pools just for logging in. They just mean that, like in Genshin, there's 110 pools currently obtainable in the world. Like if a Genshin first released, you know, I don't know if he did do this, but if Genshin first released with Mondstadt and Leeway, they said, oh yeah, you can get 110 pools if you log in now, but they actually mean that, oh yeah, well if you spend 30 hours exploring all of Mondstadt and Leeway, then you can get that. I don't know if they did do that, but Wuthering Waves is doing it, so... Yeah, I do not respect Wuthering Waves at all. Not to mention, I've seen Doro. Say Doro. Well, I've seen him doing Wuthering Waves ads and stuff. Very annoying. The Genshin community, I'm just going to hate it. It's so much brain work. It's so much brain work. From every angle. No one's thinking critically. No one is. Our Hatham would be very disappointed. I'm gonna put myself down here and I'll be back in a minute. And then we'll do its best. This should have a... It should have a Dainsliff in it. After this. I haven't done these. I know the new fellas in this quest. This guy's actually kind of fun. I actually found him pretty fun to play. Honestly though, give that kit to Fischl. His skill is really boring to use, quite frankly. I think they should have just made this a Fischl rework. Yeah, just give the whole charge stack thing he has going on, just give that to Fischl. Will it make Fischl really OP? Yes. Do I care? No, just do it, it'll be fun. But he exists. Why do we have 2 Electro DPSs on banner at the same time? But come on. Not to mention as well, yeah, these banners are they're not good. Of course, for banner, you want the 4 stars to synergize with the 5 stars, and none of these characters synergize with Hatham. Bennett anti-synergizes, because you don't want to run... I doubt you want to run Burning on Hatham, and Bennett's C6 might also overwrite his Dendro Infusion, which would be really bad. Toma has the same problems. And the last one is an Electro DPS, which is a role confliction. Clorend is slightly better, because at least Bennett and Toma will be good if you combine her with Chevreuse. But again, Electro DPS on an Electro DPS banner. This doesn't make sense. Oh my god, Siege Green. Why does Siege Green exist? Why? Such a... The Siege Green shouldn't exist. Siege Green should be Nilu. That should be Nilu's spot in the next banner. Ugh. She should be in 4-star. It's ridiculous. What Fontaine characters haven't been 5 stars? Oh god. That's actually not great when you think about it. Lynette, who was given out for free, Femine, who was also given out for free, and Charlotte. We only have 2 Fontaine 4 stars who aren't given out for free. I feel like that's telling that just during this period of the game, they earned so much goodwill with Fontaine because underwater exploration has been so fun and original. They earned so much goodwill during that. They also earned goodwill by releasing Linny, who introduced new team comps and was just healthy for a game, fun to play. Released Nilu, Novelette, who made new team comps and was fun to play. Obviously, Farina, great for a game. Another Hydro sub DPS, passive as well. So they have coordinated attacks and synergies with healers. Blah blah blah, great for a game. Navia, an actual good Geo character. What? I personally don't like playing her, but that's me. Chevreuse, amazing. Introduces a whole new team composition to a game. Fun to play. Looks very cool. She's one of my favourite character designs in the whole game. Very cool. Gaming, what's this? An actual really good 4-star hyper carry. That's great. But they're really diminishing all the goodwill they try to build by being so predatory with 5 stars. But of course, not to mention, I made an Instagram post about this. Arlecchino is such a blatant ripoff of Sephiroth. It is so obnoxious. I didn't even mention this in my post. It is very clear that they saw Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and they tried to jump on it. Because Arlecchino, I mean, compare her to Sephiroth. Same kind of colour palette, except for a red, except... I was like, oh yeah, there's red. Then I realised, wait, in Kingdom Hearts, Sephiroth has red as well. So he saw Sephiroth and was like, how can we change this a little bit? Let's take the Kingdom Hearts design, let's make him female. She doesn't have a long sword, but she does have a long scythe. She has the glitching aesthetic for no fucking reason. Similar personality, similar kind of similar character motivations even. The whole wing, this wing as well. It is very blatant. And of course with the whole music sequence in the same update which released her as well, I think. It was very blatant. They saw Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and they were like, let's plagiarize this. And we didn't. Very aggravating. Very aggravating that we did that. I don't remember if I talked about that on stream at all. My one friend I talked to about it said, oh yeah, you're reaching. They don't know anything about Final Fantasy. And they are Genshin Defender anyways. Like, it is very clear. Every single aspect of Arlecchino's character is very clearly taken from Sephiroth. So yeah, that just irks me. I mean, I'll be back in a minute and then we'll do it.
There have been many poorly written applications lately. I guess I'll just have to reject them all. Wait. Huh? No. Whatever. The scribe's work is simple, which is exactly why I took the position. Book learning alone is not enough to cultivate intelligence. All those scholars in the academia are prime examples. Wait. Huh? No. Whatever. The scribe's work is simple, which is exactly why I took the position. Wait. Huh? No. Whatever. There have been many poorly written applications lately. I guess I'll just have to reject them all. Wait. Huh? No. Whatever. The scribe's work is simple, which is exactly why I took the position. Book learning alone is not enough to cultivate intelligence. All those scholars in the academia are prime examples. Wait. Huh? No. Whatever. There have been many poorly written applications lately. I guess I'll just have to reject them all.
Perfect. It's you two. I have a commission here that has your names written all over it. In fact, I'd even go so far as to say you're the only ones for the job.
The only ones for the job? Huh. If our help is really that important, it's probably some Archon class commission, right?
The Adventurers Guild doesn't employ that kind of classification system. In fact, this commission is also probably not nearly as intimidating as what you're expecting. All it asks us to do is to find a missing person.
Huh? Then why did you say we were the only ones for the job?
I came across this commission while reviewing our backlog not too long ago. It seems simple, but our records indicate that over a dozen successive efforts to complete it have all ended in failure, despite attempts by several accomplished and renowned adventurers. With the reputation of the Adventurers Guild and the performance of the Sumeru branch at stake, it's in our best interest to assign this commission to the adventurer with the highest completion rate over the past few years.
Well, that's us for sure.
I just realised, of course, this is actually a main story quest. The last main story quest we got was Freena's. God, has it been like 4 patches? Oh my god, it's been like 4 patches since we actually got a story. Mother of God. Granted, we got some good character story quests in that time. Yeah.
All I'm asking is for you to give it your best shot. If it proves to be beyond your capabilities as well, I'll talk to the commissioner about canceling the commission.
Okay, so who are we looking for? And what is it about this commission that's made it so hard to complete?
This commission was jointly issued by the residents of Vimara Village. They say one of their own villagers has gone missing, but the problem is, they don't know the missing person's name. They can only provide information about his general appearance.
They're all from the same village, but they don't even know his name? If so many adventurers have failed to complete
Generally,
this
I'm not even a
maybe
fan of
this
these quests
missing
anyways, because
villager
the
doesn't
Dainsmith
exist at
quests
all.
are literally just
Could it
like,
be some
here's an
sort of a
hour-long
prank or
thing
something?
with a lore dump. And that's it. Of course, my personal view on lore is that lore should enrich a story, lore shouldn't be the story. And Genshin's approach of making you wait a year and then giving a crumb of information and acting like it's something profound or interesting in the slightest is intensely annoying.
Unlikely.
Hopefully this
Several
is not going to be
villagers
that.
came by to issue the commission, and judging
But
by
likely
their
will be,
appearance
so
and
that's what
tone of
Dainsmith
voice,
quests are for.
they seemed incredibly sincere. It certainly didn't seem like a joke to them. Besides, putting up a commission requires a processing fee. There aren't many upsides to a prank that costs Mora to carry out. In any case, it would probably be best to go to Vimara Village and ask around first. The Adventurers Guild does have some information on hand, but I would say anything you can learn directly from the villagers would be far more reliable. The best way to avoid misdirection is to go to the source.
Alright then, let's go! I'm starting to get really curious about this whole thing. Vamara Village! Why don't we talk...
I'm just gonna change. I'm gonna put Kokomi back in here just because otherwise our only Hydra application comes from the
Victory will
burst,
be ours.
which I don't think is good. We won't need the extra damage most likely. Nahida will give us more damage output, but I think Kokomi just makes the team comfier, so I think this way is better for.
If this commission is really as challenging as Catherine made it out to be, we're gonna need to carry out a very detailed investigation.
Hello there. You looking to buy something? I do business in this area.
Oh, no, we're adventurers. Catherine sent us to look into a commission here in Vamara Village.
Ah, so you're here about that, then. Ah, you're not the first, that's for sure. To be honest, we aren't holding out much hope. Many adventurers have made their way out here. We've pretty much had it up to here in questions, and the area around the village is...
So, this person we're looking for, what's his name? Where did he live? Does he have any relatives?
I don't know. I really have no clue. I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Guess you're really sick of answering questions.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound short with you. I was actually just giving you my answer to your questions. I know it may seem like we don't have anything to offer by way of information, but I promise you, we just don't know the specifics. At least that's what everyone in the village seems to think. We've all exchanged what we know, and that was the only logical conclusion.
And reality deletion bullshit.
Alright, specifics aside then, what kind of person was he?
Now, of course, the immediate thing to think is, oh, what if this is Aether? I'm saying this isn't Aether simply on the basis of they'd have to re-record too many voice lines to say he instead of she. I think maybe it's Dainslev.
Young guy, in his early 20s probably. Incredibly kind sort of person, always willing to lend a helping hand. I'd chat with him when I didn't have any customers. I even saw him stick out his neck for others.
Now that you've started talking about him, you don't seem nearly as down in
Not
the
to mention,
dumps as you did
Aether
before.
is
Seems
immune
like he
to
left a pretty
so
good impression on you.
because if we're above so because we're not from here. Well, we are. I don't remember the law.
But of course, everyone in the village is pretty fond of him.
The thing is,
We wouldn't have issued that
the
commission
whole
otherwise.
seeking sibling storyline really doesn't work because it's not in the focus. He gets 1 hour of screen time a year. We last saw him in Liyue. Did that chapter, was that with the release of the game? I think we haven't actually seen Aether in person since the game launched.
There aren't many young people like him nowadays. So genuine and pure. To think that he just up and disappeared one day.
Like, can you
Just
give an
hope
actual
nothing
physical
bad
description,
happened.
though?
Could he have just moved away without telling anyone?
No, he's not the type to leave without saying
No,
goodbye.
that'd be stupid to say. Yeah.
And anyway, moving away without being seen by a single person in the village? There's no way he...
Huh. Alright.
Something you want to check. There it is. This is about 3 feet. Yeah, cool. Oh, this is meeting Dainslev. Oh my god, it is actually... Yes, this has been like the second or third patch of the game. Because all of this released with the game, and I think these two as well. So this would have been 1.0, this would have been the initial release of the game. I think maybe 1.1 for these two quests. 1.2, 1.3. This was the one time we've seen Aether in the flesh. And since then we've gone all the way through here, This is not Dainsliff. What even was this? I don't remember. Was this a chasm? Was this a reveal that Hilly chose people? Why is he always asking commission? Is it a chasm? Yep, the chasm. Yep, so that's when we learned about Hilly chose. And this is also a chasm. Then we have Sumeru, and then the actual like good interlude quest, which still wasn't all that great, but it was unique, definitely. So that was a kind of cool one, at least with a twist at the end. Then we have Fontaine, and now we're finally at another interlude. Big up for Wanderer quest. I still think the Wanderer is possibly the best character in the game, character-wise. It's just a shame they kind of fumble his character introduction, since they almost seem to assume that you knew him from the quest or the event in 1.0, or like when the game first released. It's known and official, which is really why they should make quests replayable, or events replayable. Star Rail has that feature, but I haven't been bothered to do it yet. There's a funny thing, there are genuinely a lot of wishes just waiting for me to claim them in Star Rail. There's so many of the events which I can replay and stuff, and so many story quests. I have still yet to do a single character story quest in Star Rail, and that just kind of just goes to show how demoralizing it can be to play Star Rail. I just do not care. I already have like over 200 wishes in Star Rail. I'm saving up for Firefly next patch, and after that, I'm saving up for Kafka and Silverwolf. Firefly looks really cool. Her kit, so.
Hi, Grandpa Amadea. We're here to help you look for the guy that's gone missing.
Ah, so that's what brings you to these parts. Coming all this way for our sake. That's so very kind.
Could you tell us a bit about it?
Of course. With my failing eyesight, I'm afraid I can't offer much about his... I don't think his parents are still living in the village. But somehow he would often take time to visit and whenever someone had something on their mind, as the village chief, I owe him many thanks. Helping...
Wow. He seems like such a nice and gentle, but, you wouldn't happen...
I'm ashamed to admit it, but...
It's okay. There's no need to force... Well, Traveler, what do you think? Paimon thinks so too. And nobody has been able to tell us anything about his family or where he lived? Wait, so you're saying it's not that he's been... Okay, Paimon's gonna need some time to process that one.
You two are the adventurers who just arrived, right? You're here for the Vamara Village Commission?
Big up for your attention to detail. We could see that person in the background just a second ago. Love that. Ooh, Dragonvale. Hold up. Oh yeah, I started playing Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, and by started playing I mean I did a tutorial and I've done nothing since. I did a tutorial for the game, and ever since then I've just been logging in for daily login rewards and stuff. Unfortunately, it's just not high on my priorities list. And I've heard plenty of criticism about the game's. I've heard it has really good contributions to the story. I'm really interested in the Sephiroth lore. But from what I've heard, the actual game itself is not the best. The gameplay itself, from what I played, was not great. And apparently it has really bad difficulty spikes. The gacha seems really generous though, which is surprising to me. Yeah, that's not happening, so... Not to mention, I'm pretty sure it just, like, the game itself just, like, runs through the story. I think it would be similar to playing the original Final Fantasy VII, but just with different battle system. So I don't think I want to do that. I think I'd rather play the original first. Yeah. This is cool. It's got a Monster Hunter collab going on right now. But I think I'll get into it at some point. But that point is not right now. Of course, I intend to get back to Rebirth. I intend to play the original Final Fantasy VII, but just further down the line. Because right now I'm not doing anything. And there's reasons for that. I mean, my Final Fantasy VII. Okay. My Final Fantasy VII fanfiction is 38,000 words long as of right now. Part 1 has 995 reads, 78 likes. Part 2 has 303 reads and 31 likes. That's been a little over like 50 hours since I posted it. I mean, that's a big part of why I'm just busy with that.
Yep, sure are. We were just looking into the case.
I'm so glad to hear that. Thank goodness you haven't given up. My name is Atosa, by the way. I grew up here in Vimara Village. Anyway, I just wanted to say, please keep searching for a missing villager. I'm begging you.
What was the
You have to
quest
find
where
him.
I fucking murdered a guy up on a hill above by here? Because I remember that quest. That was pretty funny. I did it with a... I watched my friends do that quest as well. It was kind of funny. When we were having a cutscene where the person was like pleading for their life or whatever, and I was just like running around them in circles and shooting shit.
Yeah, no need to worry. We'll give it our best
Did I just
shot.
burp on stream?
So,
I mean to
with
stop
your
doing
quest
that.
to the missing villager, are there any leads you can give us?
I'm not sure this counts as a lead, but follow me. There's a place I'd like to show you.
According to GameA, Alhaven is an SS tier or an S tier for exploration. I mean, like, maybe, kinda. It's not as good as Kazwa, but it's definitely something.
Here you are.
Actually, it doesn't seem as good as Ketchings. Or maybe, I think it goes further than Ketchings, maybe. Where it's slower than Ketchings. Steal this. This will get me some friendship and some more of it, which I'm desperate for.
Hold the line!
Ring cutter.
That's, yeah, that's why you don't do that. It's gonna waste energy. Okay.
Is this the place? Under this tree?
Yep. I know it doesn't look like much, but this place is very meaningful to me. We used to always sit together under this tree and talk. Sometimes we would look up at the clouds in the sky, or stop to feel the wind against our skin.
Okay, this is increasingly sounding
We
like
could
Aether,
sit there
which
for
I
hours
don't know.
at a time, never realizing how long it had been.
The animated short they released, I hope we get some news on Genshin anime. Because that animated short they released was genuinely a banger. But to me, is so sad that the game's story doesn't actually focus on Aether. Because it could be really damn good. It really could be. Especially if, like, how that animated short depicted, where, like, somehow we could play during Aether's journey and during Lamine's journey, and, like, have a world be different when it's, like, several hundred years apart, or however long it's been. That would be so cool if they did that, but they just don't. I mean, like, Fontaine's story was good, and Sumeri's story was good, but Mondstadt and Liyue's weren't particularly. But at least Liyue had, of course, like standout characters in John Lee. Ningguang's fucking epic, I guess. So that was cool. Ningguang's a character with an arc, I suppose. Or catching a guard.
I was actually adopted by the people of Vamar Village. The forest rangers found me in the woods as a child. I was surrounded by such good people, and growing up in the village was so lively.
Alone?
How should I put it? When something's bothering you, or when you have good news to share, everyone has their own problems to deal with. Even if I might want to confide in others... Really? You know exactly how I feel? Wow, that sounds really nice. You're quite lucky. When it comes to our missing villager, well... I guess you could say that to me. He felt like both a family member I could rely on and a friend who could really understand me. No matter what came my way, I knew I could always talk to him. He was so thoughtful and pure, and patient too. Whenever I talked to him, he would always seem so interested, as if the things I was describing were just as important to him as they were to me.
I keep saying I want
Ever
to be more
since he
positive for my streams, and then
there's
I
been
just
so much
start
I
ranting.
wanted to tell him.
Oh dear.
No, none of those things matters now. I just really want to see him again.
Wow. You two must have been really close. Did he ever tell you anything about himself?
He mostly just talked about interesting things he saw around the village. Oh, right! I did ask him about his parents once. I didn't know whether that meant they had left the village or passed away, and I didn't want to pry.
Still not much to go off of.
Look at me. Talking your ear off and still nothing. The last time I talked this much in one go was when we were still together. Come to think of it. Every time we talked, it always seemed to be around dusk. Time always passed by really slowly. Even when it felt like we'd been talking for hours, the sun would still be at the same position in the sky.
Well, time always seems to pass slower when you're relaxed, right? What's wrong, Traveler? Hey, look at those hilly trails over there. Doesn't it seem like they're acting a little strange? The Abyss Order. Could they be the ones behind all of this?
Also, it's really funny to me. It's always been funny to me that the Abyss Order was like the main villains in Mondstadt, and then the game kind of promptly just forgot about them. Yeah, this is not a great elemental matchup.
Our bond is strong. Witness the power of Gwa.
That was a colossal waste. Oh.
Stand with me.
Hold the line.
Now this is like fucked up.
Time to act. Rain out. Lines your fate.
I am minding now.
Our bond is strong.
Just don't know what to do, you guys.
Let me weave you a verse.
Get with you. Okay, great.
Here you are.
Thankfully, that that rotation right there is really
wasn't
comfy to
expecting
run,
monsters
and
to
that's
show up.
more than enough for regular exploration.
If you hadn't been
So
here,
that's-
I'm not sure what I would have done.
It was no trouble.
Now that I think about it, the hilly trolls around Vamara Village, they seem agitated and would often attack anything in sight.
Maybe the Abyss Order really... Well, We should head back and check out the situation in Vimara Village just in case. If the Abyss Order is...
Also, it's funny this quest
Wait a
doesn't
second.
take place in Fontaine.
The person... It's Dainslev!
Really? It's... Okay, he's just here. Okay, sure.
Ah, it's you two.
Oh, a friend of yours? Well, I'll leave you all to it then. I should head back to the village and check up on Chief Amadea and the others anyway. Well, see you later.
Yep, see you later, Atosa! Why do you always have to pop up out of nowhere like that? Is it your life's mission to jump scare us or something?
It's hardly personal, or intentional for that matter. As long as you and I are both in pursuit of the Abyss Order, we're bound to cross paths.
Ah, so you're here to investigate the Abyss Order then?
Naturally. Hold on. Are you not here for the same purpose? No matter. It may have taken you a while to catch on, but I'm sure you've also realized by now that there's something strange about this place.
I don't think I'll
The
skip
Abyss
things
Order is
voice
most
lines just
certainly
because, well, we
planning
don't
something
hear
in
them
this
very
area.
often.
Or worse, their plan could already be in motion.
Now realizing the last time I actually heard Dainslev's voice would have been a long time ago, actually. So the last time I did this quest would have been at least like 6 months ago.
So you think the Abyss Order is behind the hilly trail activity in the area?
As things stand, I highly doubt that is their primary motive. I would imagine the increased hilichurl activity is merely a byproduct
6 months ago I was
of
pulling
whatever
providing.
it
Yeah,
is
no,
they're
I haven't
really
seen
trying
Dainslev
to
for like a year.
accomplish.
Still, the hilly
Best part
trail
of the year, like,
activity
probably
is causing a lot of
8
problems
or
for
9
the
months.
people here. We should stick around for a while and protect the village, don't you think?
The best way to protect them is by figuring out what the Abyss Order is truly planning. That is how we prevent further tragedy. And you shall have them. I never intended to hide anything from you. Don't worry. There should be ample time to talk.
I slightly regret playing Detroit Become Human off stream.
So that was the
Back when I
commission
played
that brought
it,
you
I
here to
didn't know
Vimara
how to
Village.
stream yet, I don't think, on PlayStation.
Someone who seems to only exist in people's memories. That is indeed quite intriguing. I would agree that it's unlikely you have a simple missing persons case on your hands. However, any possible connection to the Abyss Order is still unclear. It appears all we have by way of clues is increased hilichurl activity, and that is certainly not much to go off of.
Right! That mysterious voice she heard in her brother's memory. The one who called himself a sinner. Who is he?
Traveler, let me ask you this. Do you believe your sibling to have betrayed you? I sense hesitation in your words. After all, you still haven't figured out the whole truth of what happened. There's still hope for the two of you to reconcile. Irreparable damage has not yet been done.
Not to mention, something which makes a mystery kind of not interesting is when, like, every character in the universe knows the answer to it, they just kind of don't say it. Obviously, you can work with that, but you can't work with that for a year-long story where you, multiple year-long story where you just drip feed tiny nuggets of lore. That doesn't work. I'm pretty sure Dainslev does know everything. He's just not told us.
The sinner you wish to know about, his situation is different. He and his fellow sinners have long betrayed me, and long betrayed their nation. His name is Vedrfolnir, the Visionary. I'm loath to admit it, but he is also my kin, my older brother.
Your brother?
There were 5 of them, the 5 sinners of Kanria, the wise Roptatir, the visionary Vedrfolnir, Gold Rhindaughter, the foul Sertologi, and Rehir of
Rhindaughter, we know that name,
Solmari,
don't we?
Rerir.
If I don't know before. Andrew Fowl, haven't we?
No matter how eroded my memory may become, I will never forget their names. One day, I shall have my vengeance.
Wait, some of those names sound really familiar. Rhyndaughter is the one who created Albedo. Sertologi is Skirk's master. And the one we just learned about, Dane's brother, Vetafolnir. If he was the voice of the sinner, then the one who inspired Clothar to create the Abyss Order was him.
They were once people of great esteem in Khaenri'ah. Those who carried the hopes of the nation. They were the best of their peers, outstanding in their respective fields. 6 of us. Together. We should have been the ones to prevent the disaster. The ones to stop the Vinster King from continuing to rock the foundation of the world. Yet, deep within, the 5 of them craved something more. They could not resist the call of the Abyss, and divided among themselves a power that could destroy the world. So they became sinners, but also transcendent beings, each in possession of world-shattering power. And when the cataclysm occurred, not one of them stood up in defense of their nation. Not one came forward to prevent the tragedy, and for that, they shall never have my forgiveness. Indeed, if they are not stopped, the day is sure to come when they will also betray the entire world. Of course, as I said, I never intended to hide anything from you.
So, Dane, what have you been looking into all this time?
I've continued to investigate the questions surrounding the Loom of Fate. It's been quite some time since the initial operation was launched. By retrieving the eye of the first field tiller, we were able to stop part of their plan from coming to fruition.
This, for people who played Request as Fate came out, this was like 2 or 3 years ago, or even like 4 years ago. For me, it was like 1 year ago, almost. I don't remember this.
Oh, Paimon remembers! Weren't they going to use it to corrupt Osile and make a god or something?
I'm not sure I remember who Osai was either.
Indeed. However, it's obvious that was just some sort of technical experiment. The eye was integral to their plan, yet somehow, despite failing to obtain it, they've skipped the experimental phase and found some other way to keep moving forward. There are many signs pointing to that effect.
Then, what should we do? It's not too late, is it?
Our most pressing concern is to determine the purpose of the Loom of Fate. From there, we'll be able to deduce the Abyss Order's true objective. Based on the intel I've gathered so far, I suspect the Loom of Fate is related to the ley lines in some way.
The ley lines?
Traveler, you were able to observe your siblings' memories last time, yes? I believe that was due to the fact that the ley lines in that area were unstable. My recent investigation has shown that Abyss Order activity in a particular area is usually followed by a series of issues with the ley lines.
Wait, then our commission here in Vimara Village, the person who seems to exist only in people's memories, could it be connected?
It's certainly possible. I'll join your investigation tomorrow. This missing persons case could very well turn out to be the key to unraveling these mysteries.
Well, if we're teaming up with Dane again, we're gonna need all the energy we can get. Let's try investigating somewhere a little further away tomorrow. So tired. Paimon used way too much brain juice yesterday. It's all Dane's fault saying all that complicated stuff.
I was just thinking I might actually know how to make that cutscene they just did. Kinda. I've done a little bit of stuff with rendering things in Unreal.
Well, let's go find Dane. We've got a lot to do today.
Oh yeah. AR-59. I hit it, I think, yesterday.
Dane? Hello, Dane? Why are you just zoning out over here? Did something happen?
The missing person from your commission. Could you describe them to me?
Oh, young guy? Early 20s? Seriously, Dane, what's going on?
There appear to be certain memories in my mind that weren't there before. Memories of him.
Maybe we just talked too much about him yesterday and you had a weird dream or something?
No, it wasn't a dream. They're memories. Memories that suddenly appeared in my mind after I woke up. And I'm certain I've never met this person before. I remember handing him the eye of the first field tiller.
What? Okay, so this missing person definitely has something to do with the Abyss Order then!
Indeed. And it appears he possesses the ability to implant memories into the minds of others.
Wait then. All the memories the villagers have of him. But why would he do something like that?
Whatever the Abyss Order is planning, an important truth has been revealed to us this morning.
What sort of truth?
That their goal is still to obtain the eye of the first field tiller. They haven't stopped searching for it. I am the only person who knows its location. Perhaps implanting that particular memory was an attempt to interfere with my mind in some way. Your concerns are not entirely unfounded. I don't believe the Abyss Order is capable of altering reality like that just yet. However, considering their single-minded pursuit of the eye, I would say an equal level of caution is in order on our part. Come with me. We must check whether the eye is still in our possession.
Oh, so you're going to take us to where you hid it?
Of course.
I gotta grow up quickly so I can go find
So you hid it way out here? Not an easy place to discover, that's for sure. Well, let's go check to see if it's safe.
Traveler, wait.
Alright, time for another frame-by-frame analysis. I do like doing this. Yeah, there wasn't really anything hidden there, it's just the flash of him with his eyes open, and it's like, why? Yeah, nothing happened there, okay. Nothing hidden.
We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
Hey, wait up!
I love it when they add new areas to old when they add new locations to old places. This architecture, where have we seen it before? Fontaine and Economy? Yep. Nice, nice, nice. That's a 30 crit value. Very nice.
Wait.
This rate, it might actually be possible. That only gives 9% crit rate. It might end up possible for me to switch to a crit damage circlet, because I do have crit damage circlets. Gilded. One which does have crit rate and EM on it, even, actually. I think I should get a little bit of attack percent on him. Not a lot, but a little at least.
Wait.
Allow me! Stand with me!
Flicker.
It appears the mechanisms here have changed over time. You can access the upper floor through the side door. Perhaps you should try reactivating the mechanism over there.
Hopefully you don't get any actual challenging combat encounters, because we can't change our team. This team should be good enough. Well, Ethan could, like, theoretically get one-shotted by something. He's not very unfair. Damage-wise, he's already good. Obviously, could be better. Does he do more damage than the healer does? In this team. He already deals more personal damage than the healer. Hits are higher. But then the healer has her skill dealing extra chunks of damage. But he gets more dendrocrites. I don't know.
Hold the line! Looking for a fight? Dissipate!
Make sure all the runes are pointing in the direction indicated by the light. That should unlock the mechanism. Ah, the door's open. Let's go. Our destination is just up ahead.
I don't know, I wish we had more wings. That's what I wish we had more wings in the game. None of them really quite fit our Haven. I think the default the closer he gets. It'd be a big ask, but I think it would be really cool if every single 5-star character had a unique set of wings so you got with them. Doors look different to usual. Normally they're green. Oh, this is this might be something big. This is where he was in the trailer.
Looks like we can't go any further.
Be on your guard. I sense the presence of the Abyss.
It's the Abyss Order! They're here!
Hold on.
Body and time to act. Witness the power of Gugwa. Rain outlines your thing.
I kind of zoned out a little, but we came here to get the thing. Why haven't we found it yet? Is this a new Abyss? Oh god, it is.
Stand with me, lightning. You're a god.
Okay, well now we need to wait for this trio to disappear. Oh, fuck it.
Ring cutter. Our bond is strong.
Did I do that right? I think I did. Yeah, I did. The one where it kicks in, it spins around in a circle, only happens if you have 3 milliseconds.
The false memories were a trap. The Abyss Order just wanted to follow us here. Now that they're in the vicinity, we should have a chance to see.
Yeah, where actually is a thing that you took us here to find?
Dane? What's wrong?
Can you feel that? There's been a disturbance in the ley lines. It must be the work of the Abyss.
Wow, you must be really sensitive to that sort of thing. Paimon doesn't feel it.
You too. Do as I say. Use that mechanism over there and leave this place. The Abyss Order is putting something in motion. If you return to Vimara Village, I suspect you might finally have the opportunity to locate the missing villager. Just think of it as a way to divide and conquer.
This doesn't seem particularly smart, but sure. I don't think he does, but... No. Okay, we're just a bit dumb right now, that's fine. Cool.
I knew going along with your trap would be the only way to meet with you face to face.
You risked your safety, and that of the Eye. That's quite the gamble, Dainsleif. But I believe that I am the one walking into a trap laid by the Twilight Sword.
So you came here all on your own? What about those followers of yours?
When the Twilight Sword is prepared for battle, any army I could send would only be marching to their doom. Better that I face you alone. I know you must have a lot to say, but if it's a conversation you want, you'll have to defeat me first.
The Abyss Order's on the move. The ley lines are all out of whack.
Uh-oh.
We better hurry back to the
We got
Village and see what's going on.
red borders. No. That's cool. No, there's no resemblance to that. Okay. Interesting that the color of your armor, of course, changes based on what element you have. His was white. Of course, there's all the leaks saying, oh yeah, there's going to be a light and dark element. The Dainsleif is going to have dark, and Traveler's going to get upgraded with the light element. So maybe there's something to it.
Look at those hilly trails over there.
Then again, I feel like he's probably actually been that way since the very beginning.
Weren't they acting super agitated just a little while ago? Why are they so calm all of a sudden?
In the New World, they bade farewell to the shrouded sun. At last, they no longer needed to dwell on their suffering, or try to differentiate between various thoughts of blasphemy. Such was the price they paid, and thus their souls became cleansed and pure.
Did you hear that? What was that sound just now?
Eva's voice is 9S, isn't it?
It sounded
It's just gonna be like going through the tree. Where is it? The special tree in here again?
Trails in some way? Oh, this is weird. Let's check if this is happening anywhere else. Looks like the same thing is happening over here too.
You see, we're both still here. We've reclaimed an endless amount of time to love. Release your tears. You no longer need to hold back your sorrow.
Over there. It looks like they're sleeping.
In the end, he whispered softly. Sleep well, Father. Sleep well, my beloved people. When you awake, that which differentiates us shall be no more.
It almost sounds like a poem or some kind of story. Well, now that the hilly trails have calmed down, let's put this situation to the side for now. Dane said this might be our chance to fight.
Do the mirrors decay faster after combat or something? They seem to decay very fucking quickly there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I don't think I was right in counting that. I was halfway down the cooldown, 9 seconds. So it took 9 seconds for both of them to disappear. That does make sense with 4 seconds.
Grandpa Medea, is everyone alright? The Abyss Order seems to be up to something near
The Abyss Order? Thank you for your concern.
Well, that's good to hear. Oh, also, you didn't happen to come across any clues?
Someone's gone missing, you...
Huh? Well, you know, the young guy from Vermont. That's kind of the whole reason.
Ah, I do apologize. At least right now, I can't...
But how is that? Something's definitely not right. We just talked to Grandpa. What do you think, Traveler? Could everyone's memories of the missing villager have been erased? You're right.
$16.57. My artifacts are getting a little bit out of control. I really wish that artifact farming gave you some of those special things which are just for upgrading. Because like this is just getting out. I could take this feather up to level 20 right now, but I don't. Fuck it. No. Fuck. Oh, it hurts. Oh well, I mean, it's still a very good artifact. It couldn't be much better. .6. It's 13.2 plus 14.8. So there's 28 crit value, which is one of the best on my account, and another 44 EM. So I'd say that's still a good artifact.
Someone's gone missing? Who?
Just as expected. That guy you said a bunch of nice things about him? He's around 20 years old.
Oh, I know.
Really?
There aren't many young people who've earned that kind of... Then there's only one person who fits the bill. No doubt about it. Yeah, I just saw him leave the village.
Strange. Bayram seems to remember him. And apparently he... Do you think maybe it's not that there's something wrong with people's memories, but that we've somehow returned...
Just like what happened with Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? If this person only exists in people's memories, maybe we're in someone's memory right now. If we really did travel back to a time before he disappeared, if this person only exists...
Right! Paimon totally forgot about the ley line disturbances. We're in someone else's memory.
How the fuck
Just like
does
how
that
you
work?
entered your sibling's memory last time.
But for that to happen, we had to fall asleep first. We just
That would
left.
also explain why
Okay,
we
fine.
seem to be at a time before he went missing. It's a memory after all. Right. If he's someone who only existed... But didn't Bayron just say that he saw him leave the village with someone? Oh, who knows how long this ley line disturbance is gonna last. Good idea. We pretty much figured out that the missing villager has the ability to... Right! That! Like, does it maybe leave a trail?
All the memories seem to be set in or near Vimara village. If time was allowed to pass within the false memories, there's a higher chance they might conflict with someone. There's a difference between memories that are... If time was allowed to...
No wonder! All this time and the sky hasn't changed a bit! That's the tell of the fake The implanted memories are basically taking place. If the memories included the regular passage of time, like there could be overlap or something. People might... That's why he makes sure the memories take place...
The color of the sky. Dainslev had memories implanted into his...
We thought Chief Amadea forgot about the
Oh, right! That's exactly...
Come to think of it, every time time always passed by really slowly. Even when it...
Yep, that has to be it! This is definitely Atosa's Yeah, that...
Flicker.
So, you see, Granny Jahiet was a mercenary when she was younger. She just talks like that out of habit. Oh, there I go again. Always talking about my own things. Do you maybe have anything you want to share? It's okay if you don't. You could also just talk about what you think of me?
Oh, I think you're an incredibly strong and thoughtful young woman.
Why does this guy remind me of the one for Tui Harbinger? Like number 2. Or number 1 even.
You'll meet many amazing people and live a very happy life. You won't miss someone like me.
Huh? Are those your friends over there?
Oh, right! This version of Atosa...
Friends? I guess you could say that. It must have taken them a lot of effort to find me. So, I should see what they need. I'm sorry, Atosa. We'll have to continue this conversation another time.
Another time, huh? Yeah.
It's nice to see you, Traveler. I believe this is the first time we've met.
The founder of the Abyss Order. Born into abject sorrow, he shall now be Dane's brother, one of the 5 sinners of Conria, the one who stole the power of the Abyss. No. You're... Caribert Alberic.
Oh. You know me? That's quite the surprise. I don't believe I've met you before. Oh, I see. It was the memory, wasn't it? Your sibling's memory. You saw... the me from back then. This is Atosa's memory. I came here to say goodbye to her, but... I suppose I'll just leave her a message instead. Come, let's find somewhere else to talk.
Where the fuck was all that? Ooh, pretty. Dreams are such a convenient plot device, man. Gotta love them. But that music. That's lovely. What a lovely little piece. Something I think about a lot is how game designers would be spending, well, not game designers, sound designers would be spending like 30 hours making a single piece of music, which plays like a 5-second segment game. Like Harry Bear? Like Harry Bear was the Gilicho on the previous quest. I don't remember much beyond that.
I suppose you could call it the realm of my consciousness. I'm someone who no longer exists in the real world, after all. As you well know. It's nothing. I still have enough strength to play the part of a good host. I've always hoped that I'd get the chance to talk to you like this, and now, the time has finally arrived. Extreme sorrow and pain. Hope and regret coursing through your veins. And a degree of abyssal power that defies comprehension. Father told me that once I possessed all those elements, I would become the loom of fate. But, despite his intentions for me, I never truly became the loom of fate. I was merely used as a means for its construction. In truth, I died the moment I set everything in motion. The person you see before you now is nothing but a remnant of consciousness left over within the loom of fate. As for your question, the loom of fate is a device capable of weaving ley lines. In its primitive form, it can only be used to create and implant memories. But, as more of it is completed, its power becomes stronger and stronger, until finally, it has the power to weave real ley lines of its own.
I just realised ley lines is literally just a live stream. Literally. I'm not going to say it's ripping off, because that's there's a trope which probably originated from Final Fantasy VII. But it definitely is there.
Once fully completed, the moment it gains the power to weave ley lines, it loses the lower level ability to influence memories. But it also becomes a tool that can change the entire world. Yes, I have the ability to control the loom in its semi-completed form. I suppose you can think of it as a form of compensation. After all, its existence cost me my life. That. I was wrong to implant those memories. I'm sorry I caused so much trouble. Not only for everyone in the village, but for you as well. I just wanted them to feel like I once existed in this world. As if I had a chance at life. I know what you must be thinking. Why would I do something so meaningless? But I just couldn't accept it. I had to know what it would be like if I had my own life. What kind of person I would be. What other people would think of me. Chief Ahmadiyya, Baram, Granny Jahiyat, Atosa.
Where the fuck is Jet at? I miss Jet. Can we make Jet a playable character? I don't think anyone complained about that. Jet is fucking cool. I miss Jet. This is cute. I like this. I just screenshotted this. This is cute.
What would it be like if I could live alongside them? No cataclysm, no curse. Just a quiet life in a peaceful village. I was curious, so I selfishly tried to have my own life. Even if that meant piecing together the version of myself that could have been. One memory at a time. I know it sounds stupid. After all, my life ended a long time ago. Any chance at living was stripped away from me when I was 8 years old. My consciousness left to mature in an illusory world of nothingness. Even the form you see before you was nothing but an invention based on my father's appearance. An imagined version of what I would look like if I had the chance to grow up. I know. But there's nothing I can do to make them find me. If I could exist in the real world, I would return without a second thought and surprise them with the suddenness of it all. But, well, that's not possible for me. I know. Captain Dainsleif. Twilight Sword, you mean? No need to meet up with him. Things should already be settled on his end. Exactly. As someone who could only exist in people's memories, the fact that I'm able to talk to you in my consciousness like this can only mean one thing. The loom of fate has already been completed.
That's actually cool. That makes sense. I like that. That just happened. That's cool. That makes sense. It's something I hadn't quite clocked in my brain yet. Oh, that's cool.
No need to worry about Captain Dainsleif. He's absolutely fine. The only reason he lost the eye was because I happened to guess exactly what he was planning. Captain Dainsleif has had the eye inside his body this whole time, hasn't he? His plan was to lure the Abyss Order to a false location, capitalizing on their pursuit of the eye in order to have the chance to confront the prince. He would then hand the eye to you and tell you to take it away from that location. That way, Captain Dainsleif could accomplish his own goal and ensure the safety of the eye all at once. A very thorough plan. That's right, because in his mind, he had given it to you already. Before you two entered that false location.
Traveler, wait.
Traveler gets a fucking voice line. What's this loose?
We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
That was when I implanted the memory of him handing you the eye. Given the tense situation at that time, Captain Dainsleif failed to notice anything out of the ordinary, and took that memory to be real. I'm sorry, Traveler, but I needed the Loom of Fate to be completed. And to do that, we had to retrieve the eye.
That's a cool kind of power. I like that. I mean, that's literally what Sephiroth does with Cloud. Oh, poor Cloud. Oh dear.
I promise I'm not trying to conceal anything from you, but I truly have no idea what the Prince is planning. Tevat's ley line system is deeply entrenched in the planet. Creating new ley lines can neither replace nor extend the ones that already exist. In the face of everything they could be planning, I fear I'm too insignificant to even get a glimpse of the bigger picture. In any case, I had my own use for the Loom of Fate, and my goal, at least, has been achieved. You remember my father, don't you? Clotar Alberic. I believe you saw him in your sibling's memory. After he used the power of the Abyss to restore consciousness to my hilichurl form, I suffered from an indescribable level of mental anguish. To comfort me, my father told me a story. That this was a fairy tale world where I had to take on the form of a little monster.
Well, were you supposed to recognize him based on the thing being wrapped around his wrist? Because, again, it was a year ago. You can't expect me to remember that. Well, I suppose, I mean, they didn't expect me to, but... It's like a Star Rail making it so that the thing you had to discover was that Misha appeared at the start in the hotel. It's just like, oh, I don't remember that. Not to mention, of course, all that whole arc in Star... Oh, God, I'm going to try again. That whole arc in Star Rail kind of is broken by the fact that, of course, you can play the game between those story arcs. The thing is, when Genshin has stuff like that happening, they kind of very clearly just show that gameplay between that is non-canon. But Star Rail doesn't do that. In fact, it does the opposite. Which kind of breaks things. Oh, God, Star Rail. I am considering just simply giving up on Star Rail. But I still have hope that it could become a good game, so...
That story managed to dispel my fears. Even if just for a moment. My goal was simple. To use the Loom of Fate in its near-completed form. When its ability to create memories was at its strongest. To implant a specific memory into the minds of the hilichurls. In that memory, I would tell them a story, just like my father did for me. It was a story of fairy tales and love. But more than anything, it was the story of us. I can't change the world. Not when I lost the very right to exist within it. Implanting those memories, that was the most worthwhile thing I could offer. All that's left of my existence is a wisp of residual consciousness tied to the Loom of Fate. In truth, that trace of my consciousness should have dissipated long ago. My goal was the one thing that allowed me to hold on all this time. But now, the bedtime story is finished. And it's finally time to rest.
Looks like I was too late to see Kari Bear one last time. Kari Bear's consciousness is gone, and this space will soon disappear along with it. Neither of us belongs here. That's why we're not tangible. Were that not the case, I'd love to hug you too. Well, how about a conversation? The chance to just stop and talk like this is certainly not easy to come by. Wouldn't you agree? That battle earlier was tough. The one against Dane, I mean. I didn't expect that after everything, he would still hesitate to raise his sword against me. Were it not for that, perhaps I'd still be no match for the Twilight Sword. Even after 500 years. The Loom of Fate, huh? I still haven't found a way to utilize it to its full potential. But there's still time, before the heavenly principles awaken. Yes, for 500 years now, ever since the cataclysm in Conria, there's been no sign of activity. Not long ago, you witnessed the Hydro Archon destroy her divine throne. Yes, such a flagrant disregard for the rules. And still Celestia took no action. I suppose that's proof enough of the Heavenly Principles situation. However, the Heavenly Principles will awaken. We just don't know when that will be, or what might trigger it. You could say that. Just look at Kari Bear. He was so pure and single-minded. The space we now find ourselves is a perfect representation of who he was. Quiet and peaceful, even as a hilly churl. Seeing the terrible sight within the mirror wasn't enough to taint his spirit. He brought comfort to the people of this world, even though he was denied the very right to be a part of it. So ask yourself this. Who was it that deprived him of that right to exist? Of course, that's only one example. My feelings about the Heavenly Principles are too complicated to explain in just a few words. Lumine?
You're the only one in this world who calls me that. There's so much I wanted to ask you. But for some reason, I'm not interested in asking those questions right now. There's just one thing I have to ask. One thing I could never understand. Why? Why can't we continue our journey together?
At the end of my journey, I arrived at a place known as the Sea of Flowers at the end. Do you remember? A long time ago, when we traveled between worlds together. You told me. You wanted to find a place in the universe where that one flower was in full bloom. To have a place like that suddenly appear before me? Well, would you think of that as a coincidence?
You mean?
I miss you too, Lumine. But as this war continues to rage, and as I continue to seek that final answer, I don't even know how to face myself sometimes. Let alone my own sister.
What's going on?
This space has lost its tether. I doubt it'll be able to exist much longer. In fact, aside from our ability to physically interact with each other, there's something else you should know about this space. With Kari Bear gone, we won't be able to remember anything that happened here. Everything in this space will be wiped from existence, including all memory of our reunion.
You're only telling me this now?
Still so sleepy. Paimon's head feels all fuzzy. Oh, Paimon woke up a little earlier than you, so Paimon will fill you in. The villagers said that they saw us sleeping near the village yesterday. They couldn't wake us up no matter how hard they tried, so they decided to just bring us back here. Oh, and Dane came by just now? It looked like he was injured. He didn't say anything, though. Just made sure that you were alright and left. Kinda seemed like he had a lot on his mind, but that's Dane for ya. Let's think for a second. We were in that memory, and we saw that guy you called Kari Bear. He was the missing villager that we've been trying to find, right? And after that, Paimon doesn't remember what happened. Wait, really? What a score! Well, what happened after that?
Ah, there you are. Sleep well?
Bayram, you sure seem happy. Did something good happen?
Something good? Huh. Wasn't anything good or bad, I'd say. It's just that, well, the village organized another search party yesterday. It didn't feel right to leave all the searching to the adventurers. So there we were, searching away, when suddenly this one guy said it all came back to him. According to him, one day around dusk, he was passing by this one tree outside the village, and he saw our missing villager. There he was, sleeping under that tree all by himself. His parents came a little later to wake him up, and they all left together. They looked like quite a happy family, apparently. And after that, well, we all started to feel like that really is what happened. Kind of strange that we forgot all about it for so long. Oh, and we also remembered his name, Kari Bear. Now, that's not a name you hear every day. Would have been helpful if we remembered it sooner. Well, I hope he's happy wherever he is, and we're all relieved now that we know what happened.
Seems like everyone thinks Kari Bear left the village. That's probably for the best. At least they have some sort of explanation now. Paimon wonders how Atosa's doing. Maybe we should go check on her. If she hasn't remembered like everyone else, we can tell her what happened. Paimon didn't see her in the village just now, so she's probably at the tree. Come on, let's go talk to her.
Alright. Well, that was fine. That was alright. Unfortunately, I'm not emotionally invested in Kari Bear. Because, I mean, I don't even remember much of the first quest, other than the fact that he was named Kari Bear when he was a hilly child. And, I mean, actually having a conversation with Aoife was cool, but we've now suddenly expunged that from canon, so basically that conversation is completely meaningless for the narrative. So that's cool. Did we even really learn anything from that?
Hey, Atosa, how's it going?
Oh, it's you two. I was just about to go looking for you. I wanted to thank you. I was part of the search party, so I remember what happened to Kari Bear now. Honestly, I just can't believe I forgot something so important. It's funny, but I have this feeling he told me the same thing. I just can't seem to remember when. I guess it doesn't really matter anyway. Life is made up of a series of memories. As long as I hold on to our time together, he'll always be a part of my life. I'm just happy I got to meet him. So, who cares what happens in the future, right?
This is a fundamental problem which seems to be quite consistent in these games, in that the storytellers have a good idea for a theme and a story to explore, but they just don't give it the time it needs. Penacony had a potentially extremely good story and theme to work with. That's the same thing which Stone 5 deals with, and many other things deals with. That kind of story has so much potential, but it kind of ruined the whole thing by spending the first 2/3 of it on a murder mystery which was just fake from the beginning. So it wasted the first 2/3 of its runtime, and then the latter third was also just partially wasted by just being incredibly boring. And then it just randomly introduces a theme and doesn't give enough time to develop. It gives it like one cutscene to develop a villain, and then it just happens, and then it's a climax, and like, oh, okay, cool. And then there's a cool twist, which is admittedly cool. And yeah, that's it. It was a cool twist. I'll give them that twist was really cool. And it was pretty well done. But like that story was completely fumbled, and it has zero emotional resonance as a result. The only emotional resonance to be found in that Honkai Star Rail story is the music during the final boss fights. It is a pretty good banger, and also voice acting. Again, Himoko's voice line, which she just casually dropped him into that voice, that was really good. I'm ranting about Honkai Star Rail again. For God's sake, just can't. It really annoys me. I personally believe that when you are a creator, you have a moral responsibility to do your idea justice. Because if you make a story, anyone else that then does something similar will then be told that they're being derivative of you, and will most likely just naturally not receive as much credit or be as well received, and it won't be as impactful. And so when you make a story, I think you have a moral responsibility to make that as best as you can possibly make it, so that that idea is done justice. And that's also kind of why I hate calling things derivative of other things, except for when it's like very clear, like Wuthering Waves ripping off Genshin, or Arlecchino being a rip-off of Sephiroth. I just think you should do your ideas justice, and they don't. They don't. They make every story quest like. I mean, this has only been like an hour or so. I mean, I've been streaming for 2.5 hours, but the first half hour was spent doing nothing, and otherwise I've been pausing to run about Star Rail every couple of minutes. So this is not a long quest. They just don't allocate their time properly to actually build things up. Again, like when Firefly had her fake death. Again, that never landed, and part 3 only. The third part of Honkai Star Rail's story only shat on that part even further. Because when it happened, I was like, okay, but how do we know that you can die here? And then part 3 is like, well, you can't. And it's like, okay, cool. The thing which I just logically assumed to be true was true the whole time. Thanks for making me play through 20 hours of boring trash to tell me that. It was well worth my time, Honkai Star Rail. It really was. You could have spent all that time building up Firefly's character instead, to build up Firefly as a foil to Sunday. The same way that Final Fantasy VII spends time building Aerith as a foil to Sephiroth. And in the process made my favourite characters of all time. Because I don't remember if I've said this on stream before, Aerith is my favourite character. Just period. Aerith is my favourite fictional character. Cloud is my favourite protagonist of the game. And Sephiroth is probably my favourite villain in everything ever. I'm not 100% sure, but he's definitely up there. This is like when I play other games, I'm like, well, now nothing's ever gonna live up to that. And it's like, oh damn, nothing's ever gonna be as good as Final Fantasy VII. Oh dear. Maybe I'll play other Final Fantasy games at some point. It's just... And I feel like this contributes to Genshin brain rot as well. We introduce a theme and we try to fully develop it in the span of about 5 minutes. And it just doesn't work. It just doesn't. I'm sorry, it doesn't. That's not how it works. That's not how narrative works. It's not how human brains and emotions work either. You need to build my emotional investment. And you don't need to make every single second of it amazing. Again, I spent more of my time playing Final Fantasy VII frustrated, I think I was. I would still rate that as my second, or maybe even... Final Fantasy VII, it depends on Part 3. If Part 3 of Final Fantasy VII Remake lives up to the other two, was even better, then I would definitely say Final Fantasy VII, as like a collective, is my favorite game of all time. I would say that. As it is right now, I would still put Outer Wilds above it, because I don't have any negative feelings about Outer Wilds, whilst I do still have genuine criticisms of Final Fantasy VII. I absolutely still do. I also think that my negativity throughout my playthrough was stupid, and was not really fair on the game, and was more so just me being negative, and putting that on the game at the time. The negativity was not deserved, and I like to retract a lot of that. And again, I feel like if you watched my playthrough of that, you wouldn't think that was my second favourite game of all time, or even my number one favourite. But again, it's been like 2 months now, and I can say it absolutely is. Absolutely is. I mean, I do massively regret not enjoying my playthrough more. I wish I'd been more appreciative. That's part of the point. And of course, I do intend to go back to Rebirth and do every side quest, all the side content. Am I gonna platinum the game? No, probably not. I've seen clips of hard mode. I'm not doing that. In hard mode, the side quests, they had extra combat encounters to them. I've seen the side quest with Aerith where you go to pick flowers, and there's just these enemies which shoot at you or something, and they kill your entire team in 2 seconds. Oh, it's hilarious watching that happen. It's just these random fucking bugs or something, these sentient flowers. I don't remember where I saw this clip weeks ago. It's you go out to a field to pick some flowers with Aerith, and you get fucking gunned down. You just get brutally murdered. It's oh dear. No, not doing hard mode. No, definitely not. But I'll do all the side quests and side content and stuff. Just everything I missed. I think 100% for world progression. I think as well, of course. All the side quests and stuff as well as that. I heard there was actually a patch on the game, I think, last night. it'll be interesting to see how that was. I heard they added like a difficulty slider to the Proto Relic quest, which actually put me off doing Proto Relics. It was like the Fort Condor one. Turns out, of course, I really should have done the Proto Relic quests. I've gotten some spoilers for some of them now. Some of them are really good. But Proto Relics ones basically are their own story quests, which is really cool. The Cosmo Canyon one gives screen time to Avalanche. The Nibelheim one actually has Sephiroth in it. And Gilgamesh. Yes, I really do definitely need to go back and do those. Sorry, I've gone to Final Fantasy VII now. Make good games, please. I get it's hard with the current climate. Behavior. Was it today or yesterday? Behavior fucking fired like 100 people. Also found out Behavior has over 1,000 employees, which is hilarious. Quite frankly, because I don't know what they're working on. Because Dead by Daylight often feels like it is made by 20 or 30 people at most. It is not a game made by a studio of over 1,000 people. No way. No way. I don't know what we're doing there. I still think Dead by Daylight, I would still place it as the worst game ever made. So I genuinely think that game is like toxic, like it is radioactive. Playing Dead by Daylight will make you a worse person, and it will ruin the lives of everyone around you. It will make you a worse person, it will ruin your life, and you will infect your friends as well. I genuinely think like Dead by Daylight should be outlawed as like a public health risk. I don't think it should be legal for Dead by Daylight's servers to continue running. And next round I put Destiny 2. I'm going to play Destiny 2. I reinstalled it on my Xbox for free, because of course it doesn't cost me anything. I'm not giving Bungie any money. But Final Shape is out today, I think. So I want to hop on Destiny 2 and just see if there's anything I can do for free. Yeah. Do I have anything else to say? I could just rant more about Final Fantasy VII. There's a lot of things about Final Fantasy VII I just don't want to say. Of course, I've started writing my Final Fantasy VII fanfiction, which is very long, and it's going to be even longer. It's not even like halfway done, it's already 38,000 words. Very long story. Let's play the game.
Okay, I'll admit, I'm just putting on a brave face. I was dumped, wasn't I?
Oh yeah, I think just making it so, oh yeah, well now we don't remember that scene, I feel like they shouldn't have done that. Why do that? Because I'm not invested in the tragedy of that. Because again, we hardly ever hear about Aoife. Aoife is at the very back of our minds, let's be honest. So I don't think we should have... We will see if something happens for the rest of this quest. But yeah, I think that's a waste to now say, well, oh yeah, well now no one remembers that scene happened. See, it will logically follow that Aoife also doesn't remember it, so that scene has basically just been wiped from existence. Now you can start a moral debate or a philosophical debate about what does that mean and the value of things, but that is not what this is doing, and I don't think it is going to do that. It would be really cool if you did that, Genshin, but I don't think you are going to. So I think that's just going to waste. Now we've just introduced some interesting character. We just had an interesting character moment. We actually had a conversation with them for the first time since the game released in 2020, and it's immediately basically been retconned. Yeah, the more I think about that, the more infuriating that is. Actually, that's really bad. That's such a horrendous waste. Because again, like, everyone involved has forgotten what happened. Ethan's forgotten it happened. Lumine's forgotten it happened. No one remembers it. It didn't even happen in the physical world. Everyone involved either doesn't remember it or is dead. So it's a completely meaningless moment. So, congratulations, I guess.
Otherwise, why would he just leave
Yeah, you were
like that
dumped.
without saying goodbye? You don't need to comfort me. I'll be okay. It's just like Kari Bear said. It's the things we overcome that make life more precious.
Shut up.
And you know,
You haven't built up that
if he
theme.
has a heart,
You don't have any right to say
maybe
that.
he'll come back and see me one
Stop
day.
it.
Anyway, thanks for all your hard work, you two. I promised I'd help Granny Jahiet with something, so I should head back.
I kind of just love
Goodbye.
the contrast between my voice and me being pissed off and complaining about gaming, just Lumine, just as a character. See, she's such a typical anime girl.
Well, that should be it, right? Everyone's lives can go back to normal now. Oh, right! Weren't you about to tell Paimon what happened after your conversation with Kari Bear? A picture? Where'd that come from? Let Paimon see.
Right, let's inspect this item. That's very cute. So this is because they completed the loom, and so now Layla, he can now make a photo which never actually existed. Cool. Okay, so I mean that doesn't prove me wrong, and also the quest just ended. So I guess we wait a year to find out if that has any consequences. Cool. Ooh, I get a free. Thank you. Right. So that quest, quite frankly, I think Carrie Bear was better. I think a Carrie Bear quest was better. I still think that moment has at least been half retconned. The content of that quest was... I have no emotional investment in Carrie Bear, so I don't care about any of that. And then the one good scene with Aoife got deleted. Dane Slith is just... kind of forgot about him. Honestly, halfway through that. The moment we left him there, they kind of just forgot about him for the rest of the quest, and now we're going to run into him again in a year's time. In a year's time, we're going to get another commission. We're going to be like, oh yeah, how'd that go? I heard you got injured. I'm sorry, man. Are you doing it? Oh, do I have an exploration to do? Fuck. You see, that is derivative of Zelda. But also, I don't think Zelda really... Oh, I haven't been here before. Cool. I don't think Zelda really invented the concept of music having magical abilities. Maybe it's a game mechanic. But, you know, it's like... At least I think it's a completely different narrative thing behind it, at least. So that's the kind of derivativeness I'm fine with.
Hold the line!
It's just the thing which I just think like it's less so about superficial elements and more so does it feel derivative, right? If when you play it or you watch it and you're just like, oh, this is just that other thing. I mean, that is what matters really, is the feel. And, like, copyright, I suppose.
Stand with me!
This fight's going well. Brilliant.
Don't let any of it roll away now.
That is certainly an encounter which happened. Alright. But yeah, it's more so down to a feel than anything else, I would say. And naturally, just putting more effort in to have an idea. Like, there's being derivative because you saw one thing was like, oh, that's cool, we can steal that. And then there's being derivative just because something is like a good idea, and therefore more than one person had that idea. Great minds think alike. There's been times before where like I think of, oh, this would be such a brilliant idea for a story. And I'm like, oh, fuck, well, that's just this thing, isn't it? But that was actually the case for my uni narrative, which I made for my uni project. I was like, oh yeah, this is actually a cool idea. There's lots of thematic things I can do with this. And I was like, oh, this is literally just a Matrix. The thing is, everything is... I mean, depends what you define as derivative, but everything is derivative of something. It's just a matter of making it genuine. And I think Genshin is genuine enough. So I think it's very clear that Genshin devs genuinely care about their game. I do not think the same for Star Rail devs. Again, I think that Star Rail is genuinely predatory. But I think the Genshin devs genuinely want to make a really good game. They're just going to held back by higher ups saying, yeah, let's make Nilu unobtainable for a year.
Stabilize!
Now disappear!
Recently I hadn't had a lot of things to do, like grind-wise, so like I've...
Let's light it up!
I bought okay. I'll just show it in a minute.
Step right!
Gather!
Now disappear! Wind strike!
How did I lose HP? Oh yeah, recently I just really haven't had much to do with resin. And I'm so sick of grinding artifacts and getting nothing for it. I've been grinding Raiden artifacts since Raiden and Nahida artifacts since January. We're now in June, and in that time I've got an exact 0 upgrades. I've been grinding artifacts for slightly on and off, but I've ran artifact domains hundreds of times, I would say, in that time, and I've not gotten a single upgrade. So I'm kind of just sick of it. So instead, I invested my resin in the last like 2 weeks or so into Mora and XP books, So I brought John Lee up to level 90 because that boosts his damage and his shields. Brought Bennett up to 90 because that boosts his damage boost and his heals. I brought all of the characters I need for any kind of bloom setup to level 90. Don't remember if Kokomi was 90, but she is now. Kuki, I brought up to level 90. Yao 90. Toma, 90. Eula fucking sucks. Don't get Eula. She's awful. Utterly awful. Really, really bad pull. She's not even a 4-star. She's a 3-star. The worst character in the game. My Eula is actually pretty damn well built by my standards, and yet she performs terribly. Her burst is level 8 here, yet even when it's played optimally, her burst deals about as much damage as 1.5 Hu Tao charge attacks. So it's just like playing an extremely shitty Hu Tao, where instead of getting 1 or 2 charge stacks a second, you get 1 charge attack after 7 seconds and a full rotation of setup. It's just tragic. To not get Yuya. Actually thinking about it, yeah, literally. A Hu Tao charge attack deals 70 to 80,000 damage per hit. Eula does 120,000. Add on Yelan dealing like 20,000 and Xing Cho dealing like 10,000 with each hit. Yeah, genuinely, each Hu Tao charge attack is equal to Eula's burst. Now, Hu Tao is high investment than Eula here, but still, like, for people that get Eula to deal like 1 million damage on her burst, they're clearly whales. Very clearly. I shouldn't have trusted them whatsoever. Because, yeah, you're never going to hit 1 million damage with this thing. Never. Never, ever. It's basically impossible. I wasn't even testing it against, like, bad enemies as well. I was testing it against good enemies for Eula. And now, I have the exhausting just wait for resin to refill. Because I'm a Ashlet. Oh, fuck it. That would have been crazy. Nah. Alright, now, the question is, do I start another story quest, or do I fuck about and do nothing? The last couple of days, I've been going on like a war film binge for no reason. I wanted to watch Oppenheimer, but couldn't find a DVD for it. So instead I just went on Netflix and I spontaneously found 1917. I was like, oh, I've heard that film. I heard it was decent, I think. Let's watch that. And I was like, wow, this is really good. And I was like, oh, I want to watch Dunkirk as well now. So I watched Dunkirk, and then my dad found an Oppenheimer DVD, and then I watched Oppenheimer again last night as well. I watched Dunkirk and Oppenheimer in one day. It's very good. Dunkirk felt way longer than it was. When I checked to a runtime and found it was less than 2 hours, I was very surprised. It feels longer than Oppenheimer. I don't know what it is, but Dunkirk feels really long. So ready to go again. I really don't think this boss should be eligible for the Abyss. It's so stupid. It's so stupid when this boss appears in the Abyss.
Solidify!
Let's get this show on the road!
Hold it.
And voila!
Stabilize!
One more shot.
Step right.
See, another thing I love about Lily here is that you can have Bennett here basically as just a dead party member. He just doesn't do anything for you. Until you need him to. You can completely just not use Bennett's ult, and Lily still works great. Though, gotta be honest, like, Bennett's burst, it says it lasts 15 seconds. Oh no, it lasts 12 seconds. Oh, okay, that makes more sense then. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say it feels like 15 seconds, but it feels like it's maybe like 10 at most. But no, okay, 12 seconds. Okay, that makes sense now. Okay, fair enough. I've just been stupid this entire time. Right. Yeah. So, in order of interest here, I'm most interested in probably Clorenz, kind of because I already got a spoiler. I know Navia's in this one, at least briefly. Chiori, I'd gotten some spoilers for Chiori's, but I've forgotten them, and I know this has a fella dude, Cepho's in it. I don't get why Sino gets a second story quest. I really don't. Sino got a second story quest for Farina? What? That's also making me wonder, when is Farina going to get second story quest? She's like one of the best characters in the game. She really should get a second one, like very soon. Poor Venti. Poor Venti. I'm sorry, Venti Vans. Just can't catch a break. I tried to get into playing Venti. It just didn't really work out. But I brought him up to level 84. But Kazuo is better. 90% of the time. I don't know how well Al-Haytham would actually do against this part. I'm out of resin to do anything, so. I didn't get. Do they actually make money out of resin replenishing? Do they? But what kind of idiot actually spends primogems on refilling resin? Like, you have to be a special kind of stupid for that. I'm sorry, but. I love his attack animations. I was worried I wouldn't like him, but I actually really do. In the past, I did not like playing as him. I don't like playing as him in events. But I suppose that's because I was using whatever characters the event threw at me, so it's kind of less organised, and I had less of a clue what I'm doing. A couple weeks ago, I watched a very brief video breaking down how to actually play Al-Haytham, so I knew that it was like his rotation was press skill and then wait for a while, do a bunch of things, and then use his burst. But I'd forgotten all of that, but it's quite easy to get used to his rotations. I think, at least. Well, I haven't taken 3 Abyss yet, so we will see. I definitely would like to take him to Abyss, especially since I know he's capable of it. What should I do? What's the time? It's 3:30. I'm also wondering if there's any way to actually make him work with a Farina team. Actually, let's do it. All right. I'm gonna look at Game 8 and see what teams do we recommend for him.
Wait. Huh? No. Whatever.
Al-Haytham Quick Boom teams. Al-Haytham, Nahida, Yelan, Shinobu. Al-Haytham, Xingqiu, Raiden, Bai.
Book learning alone is not enough to cultivate intelligence. All those scholars in the academia are prime examples.
Dendro in this team can be substituted with another Electro if you have enough energy recharge for Alhaven. This is just Yalan instead of Xingqiu.
Wait. Huh?
Yalan does give more on-field damage, but then she has a worse energy requirements, more single-target focused. But she does give Alhaven that 50% damage boost as well. Interesting. Definitely consider
There
that.
have been many poorly written
Alhaven Farina
applications
teams,
lately.
just what I was looking for.
I guess I'll just have to reject them
Alhaven,
all.
Nahida, Farina, support. Farina is one of Alhaven's best supports when it comes to increasing his damage. Perfectly slots into traditional Alhaven Quick Room team, but you're losing out on some high ground application. So yeah, we literally just use Farina instead of Xingqiu. Right, well, Genshin really should have a simulacrum, man. It really should.
Time to broaden the horizons
You
again.
don't know how much you appreciate a simulacrum until you play a game which doesn't have it. God damn. Granted, I do spend more time with simulacrum than anything else in Warframe nowadays. This domain boosts EM. Might not be good to test there. That's the thing, like, you can't just use domains because domains give you stat boosts and shit. And you can't use boss battles because bosses have unique mechanics and also often go down like 2 hits, so... This is the one boss which I'm actually happy to test things on, normally. And of course, the obvious problem with this team is that Kuki only heals one party member at once. What's our rotation? Farina, skill burst, Nahida skill... Should we burst? Yeah, let's burst, okay. Farina skill burst, Nahida skill burst, Kuki skill, Alhaitham skill, and then Alhaitham's rotation. For Alhaitham, we will know when to switch his. We can determine when to use his skill, use his burst based on the timer on his skill. So hold up a second. If it's 4 seconds and we get 3 of them, then 12 seconds, which means when the cooldown hits 6. Is that right? That doesn't feel right.
Time to shine.
Wait, what happens does Farina have? I should check.
Let's play through a little. Sharing my knowledge. Our bond is strong.
Farina might be using absolutely crap weapon right now. Right, I think I fucked up the rotation. Right, let's run. Before they die. That did not go well. Actually, what was the time on that? The time I'd be looking for is sub 20. So I have several teams that can do sub 20 seconds on this boss now. Alright, start counting at 26. Okay, well, I mean, we left after 20...
Book learning alone is not enough to cultivate intelligence. All those scholars in the academia are prime
so we
examples.
did fuck up Alhaven's rotation there. We did do a couple of hits which just didn't have the mirrors on. Also, obviously, our Haven's level 60, not fully invested. Farina is using Favonius sword. That is what she's supposed to be using. What is Bennett using? Oh, he's using that crap. Okay. My Funa Self is not very good. That's a lot of ER. Right. So of course he still has a lot of room to improve. Like, not to mention we even don't have this yet as well, so that would also be a pretty decent damage buff. So yeah, I mean, running any kind of damage calculations on him right now would not make a lot of sense. So I mean, all things considered, that performance right there, a kill in about like 23 seconds is pretty good. I think that's faster than what my Raiden national team puts out, actually.
Flicker.
I wonder if you're supposed to use any charge attacks in this rotation. I'm not a fan of using charge attacks with normals as well. I really think it should be one or the other. Let's run Raiden National. Right, correct artifacts up. Raiden is C2. Very high investment. Jean, the investment doesn't really matter, but here she is. Farina, Jiangling, Feronius Lance. That. Oh yeah, I invested more in Chevrolet. I'll show that in a moment. I think Deathmatch will be better. Yeah, sure. So right, let's compare that team's performance, which we just ran, to Raiden National. I'm pretty sure this Raiden National team takes like fucking like 20 seconds or something to clear this. Raiden Chevreuse is better than Raiden National. I know that for sure. Which I really wasn't expecting, but it is actually true. Raiden with Chevreuse is a... Right here, people would have you believe this is like one of the best teams in the game, but this is better. I've done the damage testing, this does more damage. A good bit more as well, I think. Pretty sure the time to kill, at least on this guy, is like a second or two faster. Not to mention the team's easier to use. Slightly less elemental matchups though, I suppose. But that, again, that doesn't really matter much in Genshin.
Shower me with praise! Let the world come alive! There is no... I swear by my sword! You're toast! Inazuma shines eternal! Shine down!
But then she doesn't meet her ER requirements. Fuck. Is Favlan's match refinement? No, it isn't. Also, of course, my Raiden has a lot of ER. A lot. And also that's double fav as well. So, yeah. That team did perform better than I was thinking it would. Alright, start counting at 5 seconds. About dead on 20 seconds. Cool. I really want to try using Hu Tao with Chevreuse, but it just doesn't really work. Largely because I'd have to swap a lot of things around with the setup, because of course Hu Tao's meant for EM scaling. Hu Tao's meant to have a lot of EM, and she's meant to use Deathmatch, and so a lot of things with Hu Tao have to change for her to work with Chevreuse. Like we're 281 EM, that's completely wasted on Chevreuse, just a dead stat. This, I don't get this. Why is this passive here? Why does it exclude Hu Tao? Why not just everyone? Like, come on. But I believe this team right here, this is currently the highest single target performing team on my account. I can't be bothered to wait.
What a wild and desolate sight! Allow me to grant you the blessing of water. Let my name echo in song!
Quietly now. Things are about to get dicey. Let's light it up! I'm going in!
Alright, spontaneous charge attack. But there you go. Thing dies pretty damn quick. Alright, start counting time with it. 8 seconds. 8 seconds. And it's dead at 22 seconds. So that's a 14-second kill on that. Granted, we did have a slight advantage there in that we started out at lower health.
The show begins!
Farina Constellations are so tempting. Because Farina's C1 and C2 are crazy. This is fucking absurd. Both of these are crazy strong. I will absolutely get these, like, for next time we run around. What I'm thinking is that I'll wait for Neuvillette and Farina to get reruns during Natlan, and then I'll just pick up these. So I'll pick up Neuvillette's C1, and I'll pick up Farina's first 2 constellations. Because I really liked running Neuvillette and Farina together. And picking up these 3 constellations fixes their anti-synergy. Basically what this does right here, first of all, it increases Farina's personal damage output, which is very nice. 150. Max 300. Max 400. Start at 150. So you need 250. So that's 250% HP. So that's 250% HP. Every cycle Neuvillette does is around about, give or take, a little couple percentage. Every Neuvillette cycle is 105%. Yeah, so within... Yeah, basically, with this constellation, all you need is like 1 or 2 Neuvillette charge stacks before you get to maximum stacks on Farina. This fanfare stack gain rate increases by 250%. It increases by 250%. Meaning that whereas you would have previously gotten 1 stack, you now gain 3.5. Which now means a single Neuvillette cycle will get you to maximum stacks. And then beyond that, you'll then start increasing Farina's personal damage output. So that's just disgusting. These two constellations are crazy. This is madness. I really want these, it's tempting, but I need Nilu. So, it's not happening. But next time they drop, I really would like to get these. Maybe I'll drop like 10, maybe I'll see if I can snipe her Farina. It could happen. Maybe I'll drop like 20 wishes on her and see if that nets me a constellation. If so, that'd be great. It's actually better for Hu Tao to be at full health here. That's really nice. Now this boss is a little bit of a problem for Circle Impact, so... it'll be fine. This guy just moves around quite a lot. We should test out Haytham's team against that, what we just fought as well. Just makes sense.
Strike a pose! Let the world come alive! Busted! Here comes the catch! Everybody stand back!
Alright. Alright, start counting at 11 seconds. Dead at 26, 15-second kill. That was a whole about 5 seconds faster than Raiden National. And it's actually a less premium team. Kind of. Slightly less. They're both pretty premium. That is one problem with Hu Tao. Hu Tao is a premium character. Her best team compositions all use very high value characters. The one reason why I don't see that as much of a problem though is that you kind of get those characters for Hu Tao. Like, when you get Yelan and Xingqiu, you don't get them thinking, oh yeah, this is gonna go sick with my fucking Ganyu. No, you get Yelan and Xing Chokes, you think, oh fuck yeah, now I can make my Hu Tao super strong. And also, they just so happen to be great with Al-Haytham and Fischl and all these other teams. But you get these characters mainly for Hu Tao anyway. Or John Lee. I don't use this team often, kind of just because, like, if I do this, then I'd be admitting that John Lee is just going to be useless. I still think John Lee deserves more of a buff.
Osmanthus
what? Nope, shut up. Never mind. I retract what I just said. Where was I going with this? Rider National, actually, they're both using 3 limited 5 stars. Well, no. Actually, in a way, no, maybe Hu Tao is more premium. Rider National uses 2 limited 5 stars, 1 standard, and 4 star, which you get for free. Hu Tao is using 3 limited 5 stars and 1 general 4 star. So it's actually kind of debatable which one is more premium there. They're probably, I'd say they're both equal. But what makes Neuvillette such a great character is you can make great teams with them with quite low value characters. And what makes Nilou so great is that you can make great Nilou teams with low value characters. Same for Linny. Also kind of the same for Ganyu. Let's not use Farina here, just because of course Al-Haytham's personal damage is currently not great, because we just haven't invested in him yet, so it wouldn't make sense to be testing his personal damage. Let's go with Xingqiu. Xingqiu does have more high application than Yelan, I believe. Nahida, Skill Burst, Xingqiu, Renkuki.
Commit it to memory. Make yourselves at home.
Witness the power of the rock. Huh?
Here you are. A process of elimination.
Oh, he's already done. I'm actually going to keep this clip, not just delete it immediately. That was a very quick kill. Alright, start counting at 2 seconds. That was about a 16 second kill compared to Hu Tao's, which was 12. Was it 12? No, there's definitely like a noticeable gap there, but all things considered, I think that was really good performance. We are actually, of course, Xingqiu's missing energy. Of course he is. I feel like I've never seen a heater generate energy particles. I just want to fight something out. I'm liking him so far. Ooh. Let's fight you, you'll be fun. Oh, it's gonna hurt.
Time to...
Flicker.
I think he dealt that pretty well. Is that Alhaven is still bound for quite a glow up. His base stats are going to increase quite a decent bit as we level up these artifacts. But just raw damage from his talent still has quite a lot of room to go. He has missing passive, and I still need to level him up further as well. So Alhaven has quite a lot of room for growth. So it's very nice. I'm looking forward to working with him. I'm ending to stream now because my throat is hurt.